So you just gotta be hungrier. You gotta be uncommon man. Like,
I was like a bear in the woods.
Haha, what an idiot.
Monster energy, Tim.
Bro, you still posting about the fight? It's like, bro, these guys don't have anything to hate about. Like, literally.
We rematched in 3 years.
Well, CM Punk gave me a shout out yesterday, which is epic on
That
Raw.
was pretty cool, huh?
Right? That was epic. But, dude, Christian McCaffrey messaged me, and it was like, congratulations, epic.
Let's be clear. This isn't some hit piece on Belal. We all adore him. So when I say watching him fight is so damn boring, I'm surprised his opponents don't fall asleep mid-fight. I say that with the utmost respect. Belal's style is all about grinding his opponents down and outworking them. It's effective, sure, but it's not exactly what you'd call entertaining. He's no Matt Hughes, no GSP, and I mention GSP because this donut is already making the comparison.
I want to be considered the best welterweight to ever do it. People laughed at it when I said it the other day, and they were like, "Oh, he said he compared himself to GSP. Haha, what an idiot!" But now look where I am. Look at the guys I have in my resume.
Belal comparing himself to GSP is like comparing a paper airplane to a jet fighter. Sure, they both fly, but one is clearly in a different league. Comparing the two is almost insulting to GSP's legacy. To be fair, their records do look pretty similar until you factor in things like title defenses, finishing rates, caliber of opponents, charisma, defining moments. You get the fucking point. It's obvious that Belal still has a long way to go. Let's be clear, again, I would never disrespect Belal, but Belal is one of the most overrated fighters in the UFC right now. Who has he actually beaten that makes you go, that's my guy? Most of his wins are against guys who are either past their prime or weren't all that impressive to begin with few exceptions. A win over a 40-something Maya or a washed Wonder Boy don't impress me if you're comparing yourself to GSP here. Belal,
Bobby.
nobody loves you more than me, sweetheart, but you're out here dry humping your way to decision wins like finishing fights is against the rules or some shit. GSP's style, while grounded in wrestling, was far more dynamic and exciting to watch. He wasn't just looking to control his opponents, he was actively hunting for finishes. And yeah, he had some decisions towards the end, but he's GS fucking P, so suck it. He was a master of mixing striking, takedowns, and submissions, making every fight unpredictable. He could out-wrestle the best of them, and also had the striking to knock people out, and the submission skills to finish fights on the ground. He also had a great fucking smile, bro. I mean, look at him. He was charismatic and had a strong personality that resonated with fans. GSP was seen as the honorable Zen warrior. Belal looks like he's going to sell you a kebab. Spicy or no spicy, brother? Of course, we can't have someone with the belt and not start talking about legacy and all that crap.
If I lose this fight, they're gonna be like, "Oh, he sucked. They should never give him the title fight. We knew you sucked. We knew you weren't good enough." But it just like cements me as being one of the best to ever do it. It cements my name up there. Nobody can ever take that away from me.
If there's one thing Belal is good at, it's his ability to bore fans to sleep. Your legacy will be cemented, alright, as one of the most boring and forgettable champs there ever was. Belal is also totally delusional, smelling his own farts and playing patty cake with some guy named Nacho, who whispers sweet nothings in his ear, convincing Belal that his boxing skills are on par with Canelo, when in reality he's more like a Charlie Zelenoff. If your striking is so high level, why didn't you just stand and bang with Leon the whole fight?
I knew I had nothing to fear from Leon. I knew everything he was going to throw at me. I'm more afraid of sparring with Nacho than I was of fighting with Leon.
You had nothing to fear from Leon's striking. You saw everything coming, and yet you had to take him down. You had to dive straight for the crotch. Why? Why didn't you just knock him out? The reality is that Belal's stand-up game leaves much to be desired. The fact that Belal felt the need to take him down rather than just strike the whole fight says everything. As a champ, Belal isn't the guy you tune in to watch if you're looking for a highlight reel knockout, or a submission for that matter. He's the guy you watch if you need a cure for insomnia. Belal just doesn't go for the kill. Out of 24 wins, 18 of those are by decision. That means there's something like a 75 to 80% chance of you seeing a decision if Belal wins. They should change his nickname from Remember I'm Lame or Bully, whatever the fuck he calls himself, to Mr. Naptime. 3 more decision wins in the UFC and he will hold the record for most decision victories. Belal is more interested in spooning his opponents into a coma than actually finishing fights. And he wonders why nobody ever calls him out.
None of these guys want to respond to me. They're all like saying every other name but my name. But now they're all saying my name. Now they're all saying like, oh, let me get that shot at him. Let me get that shot. And it's like, that's the best part about it. Now I can just sit back and be like, oh, okay, well, let me pick and choose what I want for dinner.
Nobody was calling you out because nobody wants to see you fight, bro. Not the fans, not Dana, nobody. You got guys in slap jitsu with more exciting knockouts than Belal. This guy built this reputation like he's some unstoppable force in the welterweight division. Just hear what he had to say about Shavkat.
The boogeyman, right? The guy that everybody thinks will dominate everybody. But when I look at stylistically what I'll be able to do to him and what I've seen, like I said, there's nothing that he shows me where I'm like, oh man, I gotta be afraid of this or that. He's not a specialist anywhere. Obviously a specialist in finishing, but I mean, I've only been finished once in my life.
Not special anywhere, just has a 100% finishing rate, 10 submissions, 8 KOs. He's the exact opposite of what you are. He beat Jeff Neal, someone you lost to, and finished Wonderboy, something you couldn't do. When you break it down, all Belal does is dry hump his opponents into oblivion. He plays it safe, avoids taking risks, and racks up decision wins. I mean, just listen to Belal try and justify why decision wins are better than finishes.
When you go out there, you get a finish, people say, oh, you got lucky, you did this, oh, that happened because of that. But if I go out there and dominate him and beat him in all aspects of MMA, wrestling, grappling, striking, jiu-jitsu, get him to the point of making him want to quit. That's what I want. I want to torture him. I want him to the point of looking at his coaches, and his coaches had nothing to say and they walk away because they're embarrassed. That's what I want it to feel like on Saturday night.
Bro, you should pay fans to watch your fights. That's how bad it is. And please, don't finish your opponents. People might say you got lucky. We don't want that. Better to try and get your opponent to suck on your nipples for 5 rounds and win that way. I watched Nina Drama's interview with Belal to try and find something to pick at, but honestly, these two are so fucking cringy together that it was hard to even get through the whole thing. This is coming from a guy that watched hours of Joshua Fabia interviews, but at least with Fabia, he said some off-the-wall shit. Belal is just uninteresting. And I know I've used the word boring many times in this video, but how can you not when Belal is basically synonymous with it? While watching these interviews, I came to the realization just how unmarketable this guy is on every level. Dana must be thrilled to have this guy holding the belt right now. I really hope Belal's reign is short-lived. I've nothing personal against him, and I've always shown him respect. Just check out my other videos. But as a champ, I don't see him bringing the excitement that fans crave. His fighting style is all about grinding out decisions, which make for some seriously dull fights. Belal's idea of excitement is dragging someone to the mat and laying there like a dead fish. If Belal was any less exciting, he'd be mistaken for a training dummy. The welterweight division has had some dynamic champions over the years who put on electrifying performances and gave fans something to cheer about. Belal is the exact opposite of what fans want. Belal is like a walking, talking Benadryl. Good for knocking people out, but just not the way you want it to. His fights should come with a warning. May cause extreme drowsiness and existential crises. For now, we're going to have to endure this, but there is hope on the horizon. If they put him up against Shavkat as the first title defense, he will probably save us from a long, agonizing reign of nipple sucking and dry humping.
Let's go! Danielle or Kim, I mean, I don't even know, man. They're both fucking hot, man. But Danielle's younger. Danielle, I mean, I like the longevity a little bit better, right? Hey Max, what up, man? Hey Max, you know what I do? I smack the shit out of motherfuckers, man. I'm the most handsome guy of all time, bro. With that being said,